In this tutorial, we want to draw this tattoo logo in Inkscape 1.0 or in Inkscape in general. So we start by reaching out for our circle and ellipse tool. We click it and then let's choose a color, this color here. We want to start with the bigger circle. So we choose this color here. And then go to Control and draw a circle. We put our hand on the control because we want to have a complete circle. Now after drawing the circle, select it and then do a duplicate. So we go to Edit, Duplicate. Now we give this color, the duplicate this color, and then we reduce it. So go to Shift and Control. We do that so that we maintain it at its place in the center as well as not distorting it. And then we do this. One thing you can, since we want everything to stay in the center, it's better to enable the snapping tool. Go here and enable it, and then what we need for what we are doing now is this. We need snap other points, center, guide, origin, gradient, handles, and we want to snap center of objects. I mean, it's not necessary, but just for in case you, so that doesn't move or anything. Okay, now we have this circle. We do another duplicate of this circle. So we another way to get a duplicate is just left click with the mouse and then press space bar. That also gives a duplicate. Now we want to give our duplicates the color black, so we can choose this color black here, and then we move it also in by pressing Control and Shift. So somewhere like this is okay. Now we have our basic thing. Now what we want to do now is to draw a rectangle that goes a bit beyond what we've drawn so far. So we reach out for our rectangle tool. That's this one here. We click it, and then the color we use the same color here. So this color was this one here. We can, oh sorry, it's going to change it. Maybe we draw our rectangle first and we could have changed the color. Okay, I did not see this was already selected. Now we want to draw a rectangle. So go ahead and draw a rectangle. Not very big, but something that covers what we've drawn a bit, a reasonable one, like something like this will do. It goes beyond it as well. Yes. Now then select it and move it so that it snaps also at the center, so we have it centered. Maybe I would say my rectangle is a bit too wide because I would need some space here to write something. So I will reduce mine a little bit. So I would go to Shift, Control again, and maybe try to reduce it a bit. Somewhere here I think is reasonable. Okay, so this, then let's see here, it's fixed nicely. Now the next thing we want to do is to give our rectangle a stroke. That's the boundary here. So we click it, left click it, and then after that we go to Shift, and then we choose this color here. I think this is the color. Yes, we choose this color there. Now we want to write tattoo here, so reach for your text tool and then the font that I used is Century Gothic, so you can choose it by also going to objects, and you go to text and text font, and then you come here, and then you can scroll through here to look for what I'm talking about. We are using Century Gothic as the text, so choose that, and then we write tattoo, and then we select it, and then you see these bars here. Hold the your shift and control or key, or just even the control this time is sufficient, because we don't need the center to be anywhere. We can relocate it later. We just want to extend it in such a way that we are going to have it maybe meeting at the boundary here more or less. So I think this is good. And then we want to change it to bold, so change it to bold, go to bold here, and don't forget to press apply. So we have our text written. Now this is already selected. If yours is not selected, select it, go to shift and select this as well. So we have both selected, and go to object group. We want to group it, and then we want to rotate it a bit. So click again to get the handles now indicating you can rotate, and then go here, and then I think yes, if you are rotating and it's not permitting you, it's because of the snaps. So just disable it by clicking here for the time being, and then you can rotate it a bit to this direction. Yes, rotate it a bit to the right like that. Then we have our tattoo written. Now the next thing we want to do is to join these corners so that this thing looks like it's attached to this more or less. So we go for our Bezier tool, and then we draw we start from here and draw something like a triangle. You click, when you get here you release your hand, click, and get here, release your hand, and then when you have to get to the where you started, and you double click, and you have this. Now we need to change this to, let's make it give it a fill, and then we do the same thing here. We start from here, we come here, we click, we remove our hands, we click, we move our hands, we move, and then when we are at where we started, you will see that there's something like a red not telling you got to the correct place, and then we want to change the fill as well. So let's select it, give it yes. But now select this, what you drew with, go to the shift, select this as well, and select the outer circle because we want to attach it to it, and then go to path union. So now we have finished designing our logo more or less. The next thing we want to do is to write this EST, or established in 1929. So go for your text tool, and then you click anywhere at all, and then you write it EST dot 1929. Now let's give it maybe this color here, and then we go for our select tool, and then we bring it here. If yours is bigger, I'm using, or smaller, you can just adjust this thing here to make it smaller or bigger depending on how yours looks like. Okay, Now the next thing is we want to put some design here. Maybe I don't know whether we should make this a bit smaller. I think it's okay. Now we want to put some design here. So what I did was we go for our circle tool first of all, and then we draw a circle. I drew you draw a perfect circle. So press the Control key and then draw a perfect circle, but not very big, something that can fit in there. So something like this, I think it's okay for the size that we have. And then we change the fill or the color to white, and then we give it a gradient. Let's give it we give it a radial gradient. So you select this. If I forgot to tell you, if this is not open, your fill and stroke, you can get it by going to object fill and stroke, so that this pops out for you. And then we can now go to the radial gradient. We give it a radial gradient. Okay, it's not very visible, but when we move it onto the black, where did I have it? Okay, it's here. So let's move it to the black. You see, because it's white, when it moves to the black. Now I want to add more shine to it. I'll put this maybe in between the two T's, more or less, on top of, in between the, like this. And then since I want it to be shining more, you go also for the star tool, and then you can choose the star. We have rectangle here, but what we need is the star. Choose the corners to be about 20 or more, and then I gave it a ratio of about 0.86, or you can choose whichever, 0.9, 0.8. It's not important, just round it, the tips a bit, so that it's not like pointed. So I gave it 0.200. 0.2 I think is sufficient. And then we draw a star. Because you see, I'm already drawing with white, but let's see here, just for you to see. So this is what we drew, for us to be able to manipulate it before we change it back to white. Now we select our thing here, and then we go to let's go to control and make it a bit smaller. Just a bit smaller, like this, more or less. I think it's okay. Yes. Yeah, I think the size is reasonable. And then now we want to change it to white, so give it the white color, and we give it a radial gradient as well. And then we select it and put it on this, so that the shine is intensified a bit. So that's how it's done. Thank you for watching. Please help me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Bye.